We have an exciting new update from Anthropic this week. They released Claude Code on the web and the mobile app. So if you are a user of Claude, go to claude.ai/code and you'll see what you see on my screen. And if you have the mobile app, you can go into the little left-hand panel over there, and instead, under where it says chats, you see the new option for code, and you can go into this. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you how Claude Code works on the web and the mobile app. If you're brand new to Claude Code and you don't know what it is, I have another video that explains exactly what Claude Code is and shows you how to build an app from start to finish. I also have a massive tutorial on my blog that explains that. And if you are familiar with Claude Code, I'm going to show you how exactly the web and mobile app are different from the Claude Code that you run in your terminal on your local computer. So step one, go to claude.ai/code. You're not going to see what you see on my screen right away. Instead, it's going to ask you to connect to your GitHub. And the reason it does this is so that it can access all your code. And what you're going to do is you're going to select your repository from here, and I have a bunch of different repositories. So you can go and select the repository you want to work on. Over here, this is kind of like the environment where you can set up different environment variables. Different like passcodes and passwords and API keys, as well as network access. So allowing it to kind of access other websites and install packages and such. Now, what happens here is when you connect to one of your GitHub repositories and set up an environment, you are able to now ask Claude to go into that repository and do some work for you. Fix a bug, create a new feature, or even the most basic thing, which is like you could just type in like a regular chat and ask it to explain what the code base does, and it will show you what it does. So we're going to start with that. And as it works through stuff, I'm going to explain how it's working. And then I'm going to show you as well how you can just do this on the go. So let's just ask Claude Code, explain how this code base works. And I'm going to hit run. And so we're going to start a new session right now with Claude Code. Little pop-up that says, enable a notification when Claude Code is done with the work. So you could just like run this, set it and forget it, and then you get a notification when it's done. You can come back to it, do some other work and come back to it. I've got notification blocked just globally on my computer because I don't like notifications. But as you can see here, we've got, it's weird. It's got a little error to name the session. Usually it just like automatically names the session. But anyway, as you can see on the right-hand side of my screen, it is exploring the whole code base just like it would do in your terminal, and it's going to explain to me what the code does. Okay, so we're done with our work here. Claude Code has gone into our code base on GitHub and looked through everything, and it has come out with a full description of how the code base works. And if you notice, like all the tasks here, it kind of does stuff that's similar on your local Claude Code terminal instance, where it creates tasks for itself. It can run bash commands in its virtual environment. It can read files and so on. Now, I'm going to ask it to do a certain task. So it hasn't made any changes yet, but now I'm going to say, I can see here it uses O3 mini model, and I'm going to say, can you update the model to GPT-5? This is where it actually goes and does work and makes changes to our code. And the first thing you'll notice is it just does this automatically. When you are working with Claude Code on your terminal, yes, you can let it run on its own without, by dangerously skipping permissions. But most often you may not be doing that. You may be approving every change that Claude Code makes or every bash command it runs. In this case, on the web app and in the mobile app, you're not. You don't need to approve anything. In fact, once you give it a command, you can just walk away. It runs on its own in its virtual environment. So it's running read, it's running the edit, it's already edited the document here. And it runs its own bash commands without waiting for your permission. So that's the beauty of Claude Code on the web and mobile. And that's the main difference. Like, you can't sort of carefully guide it. You can definitely plan with it and come up with a plan, but there's no planning mode as well. But you can just sort of prompt it to say, hey, come up with a plan before coding or making any changes. And then once it comes up with a plan, you can have it execute the plan. But once you ask it to make a change, that's it. You can't do anything else. It goes and runs and makes a change for you, which is totally fine because it is doing this on a Git branch. So it's not really changing your code right away. Once it's done, you'll notice down here that you can create a PR from the change. So it explains to you, here's what we've done. We've committed, we've pushed everything. So it does the work, it makes the changes, it commits and pushes to a branch here. And then you can click create a PR. And so if I click create a PR here, I'm taken to my GitHub, to the repository over here, where I can see my pull request. And so I can actually see the change log here. Okay, this is what Claude Code make changes to. These are the files. And then I can create pull request. This is the commit meshes that Claude Code already added in when it committed the code. And then I can click create pull request, which I'm not going to do now, but basically that's how it works. And so back here in the main web app, I can spin up multiple sessions as well in parallel. So I can have like 5 or 10 Claude codes running, making different changes across my code base, and it just goes and does the work, and I can go away and come back and I can create a PR from it, and then I can review the code later, and then merge it into my main code base. The other thing you may have noticed is that you don't have any of the other slash commands or automations you may have set up, like sub-agents or MCPs or skills in your desktop version. So if I go here and click slash, nothing comes up. And again, this is, I guess, by design. I'm sure they'll add some stuff later on, but this is meant to be used for finishing up quick tasks that you don't need to be there, be present to guide it, and you don't need like sort of it doesn't need to fit into your regular coding workflow. It's really just more like you have a bug, someone pings you on Slack and says, hey, there's an issue. Can you change the text here? Can you update a model here? Can you fix this bug? And that's kind of like what you probably should be using it for. And so if you're out and about, you get a message on Slack, you can go to the mobile app, you start a new session, you give it the task and let it run, right? And then you can review the PR later. And so that's kind of like the huge unlock here. I'm sure they're going to be adding more features over time as more and more people use it and give them feedback. But I think this is a really cool way to sort of, or this is kind of like the way I think coding is going, or AI coding, right? Like you will want to be working with the AI and be hands-on when you're building something from scratch. But when you have things that are very like boilerplate or bug fixes or stuff that don't require a lot of oversight, you can sort of just let the agent run on its own from anywhere. Like if you don't have access to a computer, you just do it on your phone while you're out and about, and boom, by the time you come back home, it's all ready for you to review and push into the main. Anyway, if you used it or you're going to use it, let me know. And I have more resources in the comments below, in the description below, for my blog, as well as the other video that I have created with a full tutorial on how to use Claude Code. And if you liked it, give me a like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.